video this week is for Mel. This is Ursula. We're going to talk about ways to make sure that when somebody gives you a gift that you know what to do with it. And that gift is the V word. The V word is vulnerability for today. So a couple of things. Thinking about when you get to the end of your life and going back over the moments that were important to you. We all have maybe a sneaking suspicion that those moments will include things where significant events happened, where you were so tightly tied to somebody that you know what they were feeling and they knew what you were feeling, and it was about both of you. So here's some tips for what to do when somebody's being vulnerable. The first tip is to, number one, not be a dick. So there's this story that I read quite a while ago about how a relationship went off the tracks. So this is a couple that had been married many, many years. And unbeknownst to the husband, it had been very early on in their relationship when she was so devastated by something that had happened, a significant event, and had fallen on the floor and crying. And he said, for God's sake, get up and stop acting like that. And it was at that moment that things changed forever. So number one, don't be a dick. Number two, don't tell people what to do. It's so hard. I used to be a therapist who thought I knew the answers and that if my clients just knew them too, then they wouldn't feel so bad. So I'm not going to do that anymore. I try. I do my best. Another one is to make sure that if somebody tells you something that you don't just straight up tell somebody else. So you can be like super supportive and vulnerable in the moment and then turn around to somebody else and say, oh my God, this person told me this or this person told me that, and I'm so worried about them, and I've been guilty of this as well, and I'm committing to not doing that. Another thing, so I think maybe we're on number 4, is that if you're somebody who's like, please just talk to me, tell me what's going on if something's wrong, and then somebody does, and you're like, whoa, no. Just realize that you are doing that. That you're like, yeah, it's okay unless it's too much. Unless it's really important, then I'm not going to hang there. And I'm thinking about men, like what is their communication in the situation, like the first one where the woman fell on the floor. Like what is the equivalent to that where they're saying something and we just completely miss the boat? There's got to be an equivalent. So those are some tips for making sure that people that you care about continue to communicate really important things to you. It's not about you, it's about them, and by you responding in a way that's helpful, then they will know how to do it. Okay.